In a world of wooden soundboxes and tradition-bound craftsmanship, one guitar company dared to borrow from the sky, to change the curvature of the guitar world and rewrite the rules of acoustic music forever. A brand not born in a dusty workshop, but in a high-tech aerospace lab. A guitar that looked wrong, but sounded right. It became the instrument of choice for legends. From late-night shows to sold-out stadiums, they changed the shape, literally, of the modern guitar. This is the story of Ovation. Our story begins in the 1960s, in an unlikely place, the aviation industry. Meet Charles Kaman. He wasn't a luthier, not even a full-time musician. Kaman was an aeronautical engineer, the mind behind some of the most innovative helicopters of the Cold War era. Born in June 1919 in Washington, D.C., Kaman exhibited a passion for aviation from a young age. He pursued this interest academically, earning a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering in 1940 at Catholic University. His early career included work at Hamilton Standard. There, his work contributed to helicopter rotor blade design, alongside aviation pioneer Igor Sikorsky. In 1945, at just 26 years old, Kaman founded the Kaman Aircraft Company in his mother's garage in West Hartford, Connecticut, with a modest investment of $2,000 from friends. His goal was to develop a new rotor concept to enhance helicopter stability and control. Kaman's company quickly became known for its pioneering work in rotary wing aircraft. Notably, he developed the K-125, the first helicopter to utilize intermeshing rotors and servo flap control, which made its maiden flight in 1947. His innovations led to several aviation firsts, including the first gas turbine-powered helicopter and the first twin-turbine helicopter. But music was his first love. Beyond aerospace, Kaman was an avid guitarist and music enthusiast. His interest in music and expertise in composite materials eventually led him to explore guitar design, culminating in the creation of Ovation guitars in the 1960s. As a trained classical guitarist, he saw the flaws in traditional guitars: inconsistent tone, prone to humidity damage, and frankly, a bit stubborn with feedback when amplified. So he asked a question only he could answer. What if we built a guitar using aerospace materials? After the research, prototypes, and builds, Kaman found his answer to that question. His answer was the Balladeer, the world's first guitar with a lyricord bowl back, a rounded synthetic shell made from the same stuff they used in helicopter rotor blades. It looked weird. It sounded different, but it projected like a cannon and resisted humidity like a champ. For the few who heard it, it was unlike anything else. Kaman's experiment was a success. His invention was great, but a new challenge reared its head. Will guitarists pick this concept up? Will it sell? Even the best invention needs its believer. And for Ovation, that believer happened to be one of the greatest guitarists and biggest stars of the 20th century. In 1967, Ovation engineers placed their guitar in the hands of none other than Glenn Campbell, best known for his hit songs Southern Nights, Rhinestone Cowboy, Wichita lineman, and Galveston. A virtuoso session guitarist turned country pop superstar, Glen Campbell was known for his impeccable technique and smooth voice. By the late 1960s, Glen Campbell wasn't just a talented guitarist, he was fast becoming a household name. After years as a session player for the legendary Wrecking Crew, he stepped into the spotlight with a string of genre-defining hits like Gentle on My Mind, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, and Wichita Lineman. His smooth voice, clean-cut image, and cross-genre appeal made him a natural choice for television. Kaman's team handed Glen an Ovation prototype. He was blown away. The guitar's sound and stage-friendly feedback resistance made it perfect for his upcoming endeavors. That next year, CBS needed a temporary summer replacement show for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
We'd like to do a song now, a short-haired song.
Short-haired song?
It's a song in a world in which we live, where everything in a world where we look around, we say, what's happening in this world where there's things that seem so wrong and so bad, and only through...
Campbell was tapped to host, not because he was a seasoned entertainer, but because audiences trusted him. His mix of warmth, musicality, and humility resonated instantly. The summer special was such a hit, it evolved into a full series, the Glen Campbell Good Time Hour.
All-time greats, my buddy, Mr. John Wayne.
His show officially launched in 1969, becoming a national sensation. Each week, millions of viewers tuned in to watch Glen perform with the top artists of the day, the likes of Johnny Cash, Dean Martin, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, Cher, and Neil Diamond, with many, many more. And crucially, he almost always had an Ovation guitar in his hands. His show didn't just amplify his own fame, it gave Ovation guitars a national stage, literally. Week after week, viewers saw Glen strumming an Ovation, instantly legitimizing Kaman's odd-looking creation. And soon enough, Glen wasn't just endorsing Ovation, he was even collaborating with them. Together, they created the Glen Campbell Deluxe Balladeer, featuring gold tuners, mother-of-pearl inlays, and upgraded electronics. These signature models became must-haves for serious players. Glen praised the guitar's clarity, its smooth action, and most of all, its ability to perform on live TV. At a time when plugging in an acoustic was a sonic gamble, Ovation was a safe bet. He began using Ovation guitars on stage, in the studio, and in late-night performances. Suddenly, the weird guitar from a helicopter lab was being seen and heard in homes across America. Campbell would go on to collaborate with Ovation on several custom models, including his signature 1627 Glen Campbell Artist Balladeer, featuring a slim bowl and distinctive leaf shape inlays. As demand surged, Ovation doubled down on what made it different. They weren't content with just shaking up the acoustic guitar world. They had bigger plans. By the early 1970s, Charles Kaman and his team set their sights on electrics, and as you'd expect from a company founded by an aerospace engineer, they didn't follow the blueprint. They rewrote it. Rather than mimicking the Les Pauls or the Stratocasters of the day, Ovation pushed boundaries. Their electric models were futuristic, both in look and in tech. Lightweight materials, integrated electronics, and exotic body shapes were standard. These weren't just guitars. They were engineering experiments on stage. The breadwinner was Ovation's most iconic electric. Shaped like something out of a sci-fi comic, it featured a solid mahogany body with active electronics and a contoured back for comfort. It looked wild, but it played like a dream. Funk players, rockers, and even new wave artists adopted it for its versatility. The Deacon model was a sleeker sibling to the breadwinner. Same body shape, but upgraded appointments. Ivory binding, mother-of-pearl inlays, and gold-plated hardware. The Viper was a more traditional electric, almost Les Paul-esque in silhouette, but still very Ovation under the hood. Its passive pickups, flatter fingerboard, and a slimmer body gave it a unique voice, perfect for blues and studio players. The UK2, or Ultra Kaman 2, was probably their most ambitious electric. It featured a hollow aluminum frame, encased in a urethane body, and the pickups were actually molded into the resin. It was lightweight, feedback resistant, and tonally unique. You either loved it or didn't know what to make of it. Designed as a more affordable, entry-level dual cutaway model, the Preacher kept some of the Breadwinner's electronics, but simplified the body and appointments. It was a hidden gem for many. Ovation's electrics never reached the mass market dominance of their acoustics, but that wasn't the point. These guitars were statements, bold, strange, and technically ahead of their time. Today, they're cult classics. You'll see Breadwinners in the hands of vintage collectors, niche rockers, or players who just want to stand out. And let's be honest, in a world of copycat guitars, Ovation's electrics had an identity. But the next big invention from Ovation was back in the acoustic realm. They pioneered the Adamas line of acoustics, featuring a super thin, carbon fiber top and high-end electronics. It looked like it was from another planet, and kind of was. It featured multiple sound holes, graphite reinforced necks, undersaddle pickups, and visual finishes that were works of art in their own right. These modifications provided swift, crystal clear, and balanced sounds, unlike anything that came before it. Ovation wasn't just building guitars, they were inventing the acoustic electric hybrid. Artists across genres took notice. Jazz virtuosos loved the fast necks. Rock legends plugged them into massive stadium PAs without a hiccup. Country stars trusted them in unpredictable weather. And as the 80s dawned, Ovation was everywhere. On MTV Unplugged, Top of the Pops, and concert stages around the world. Ovation's artist roster in the 70s and 80s reads like a Hall of Fame roll call. Melissa Etheridge called it her road warrior. Eddie Van Halen used a nylon string Ovation for acoustic intros. Even John Lennon had one in the later years of his career. Television shows, music videos, and tour documentaries featured Ovations prominently. They became a symbol of modernity, something different from the sea of spruce tops and rosewood backs. Ovation was at the top of the charts when it came to guitars during the peak of the rock and roll age. The 1990s and early 2000s brought headwinds. Players began craving vintage. Wood was back in style, and the Roundback lost its fashion edge. In 2008, Fender Musical Instruments Corporation acquired Kaman Music, including Ovation. 6 years later, in 2014, they closed Ovation's historic New Hartford, Connecticut factory. Fans were heartbroken. For many, it felt like the end of a legacy. But like any great artist, Ovation staged a return. In late 2014, the Ovation brand was acquired by Drum Workshop, and by 2015, American-made Ovations were back in production, focusing on high-end builds, signature artist models, and new preamps. Today, while Ovation may operate with a smaller footprint, they have a renewed spirit. They continue to produce flagship models in the United States, while maintaining affordable lines overseas. Ovation guitars never tried to be normal. They didn't just bend tradition, they reshaped it. Their guitars were forged in wind tunnels, strummed on satellites of sound, and played by legends on the world's biggest stages. And whether you love them or scoff at the plastic bowl, one thing's undeniable. Ovation changed the way guitars are built, the way they're played, and the way they're heard. So next time you see one of those space-age guitars with the rounded back, remember, you're not just looking at a guitar, you're looking at the Roundback revolution. Hey guys, this is Centurion. I want to thank you for watching once again, and thank you for your support on our last video. Your response just keeps getting better with every video we upload, and we very much appreciate the support. So subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and stick around because we're not going to stop.